Hey everybody, it's Kay. Hope you're doing well. So I was tagged in the 20 questions book tag by Kazen from Always Doing. The tag originated by Buy the Book on Goodreads. I'll put all the information about this tag down in the description box below. Let's get to it. So the first question is, how many books is too many books in a book series? It just depends. It depends on the author and their ability to keep the series fresh and new. Are the characters growing? Do we still like our protagonist? Are the situations in which they find themselves still realistic as it pertains to the character and the setting that they live in, the world that's been created? Sometimes you get into a series and you're like, I'm so sick of this. JD Robb does a great job with the In Death series. I think that's over 50 books now, and she does, Nora Roberts, who writes as JD Robb, does a fantastic job with that series, and I am still interested in it. There are other series, though. There are two I can think of in particular where one author went ahead and ended the series, and I was so glad because it had gotten to the point where I was really tired of that character. Her standalone books in between the series books were so good, and I said to myself, I know she would rather write more of those, but her fan base really wanted that series. I know it had to be bittersweet for her to end it, but I'm glad that she did personally. And then there's another series. I'm not going to mention the author or the name of the series, but I'm so sick of that series. I hope that when she's done with it, she kills everybody in that series. Every character, I hope they all die. Next, how do you feel about cliffhangers? I love a good cliffhanger, but I don't think authors are really writing cliffhangers anymore, are they? It's been a long time since I read a book that had a really good cliffhanger. Hard copy or paperback? I'm not sure if this should be hardcover or paperback. If that's the case, I prefer a hardcover book, but I can afford a paperback. Feel me? Favorite book? Hard question to answer. There's so many books out there. This may even be a security question for some people. So, I don't have a favorite book. I have a lot of books that I really love. I'm not even going to go there. Well, I'll throw out some. Sugar by Bernice McFadden, The Book of Harlem by Bernice McFadden, Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Um, there are a lot of books out there. A lot that I consider a favorite, not the favorite. Least favorite book. I don't have a least. Well, there's a book I read a couple of years ago called um, The Fall of the Saints. And no disrespect to the author, but that book was horrible. I didn't like it. Love triangles, yes or no? Well, I love a good love triangle, don't you? I mean, think I may have even been involved in a few in my lifetime. I'm just saying love triangles are good. The most recent book you couldn't finish. That would be, I think it was mm, oh, I could be wrong, but the one I do remember is The Other Wes Moore by Wes Moore. And it wasn't that the book was not a good book. I was reading it at a time where I had a lot going on. And maybe I'll get back and finish the book, but the book itself wasn't bad. It's a memoir. It was just too much going on at that time. A book you're currently reading? I am currently reading, let me grab it. Sorry. Let's see. A book you're currently reading. I am reading Some Sing, Some Cry by Ndozogi Shange and Ifa Baeza. And I know the light is not good on this book, but that's what I'm reading. Some Sing, Some Cry. And I'm reading it with Art Books Life. We're doing like a buddy read. She's a few chapters ahead of me, I think, though. Let's see. Last book you recommended to someone. The Bluest Sky by Toni Morrison. Someone had posted on Instagram that they wanted to read Toni Morrison. They didn't know where to start. And I suggested that they start with The Bluest Sky. And I'm so glad that Karen from Run Right Reads came behind me and said, yes, I think that this is a good place for them to start. So I feel good about making that recommendation. Oldest book you've read. And I had to go and Google this. The oldest book I've read is Passing by Nella Larson. And it was published, I think, in like 1929. So, yeah, that's the oldest one. Newest book you've read? The newest book would have been Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Favorite author? Favorite author? That's a hard question. I have several authors that I really love. J. California Cooper, Bernice McFadden, Harlan Coben. There are just so many, I hate trying to name, you know. I don't have a favorite. Dr. Maya Angelou, love her. Buying books or borrowing books? New releases, borrowing. Buying for the older books, the ones that I can go and pick up at the secondhand bookstore or order online. Yeah, I prefer to borrow new books. I just can't afford to pay for all these new books that are coming out. A book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. Um, it's not that I didn't like the book. I want to make that statement very clear. I really liked Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, but I only gave it 3 stars because there were some things for me that just didn't take it to 4 stars. But a lot of people gave it 4 and 5 stars. Giving a book a 3, and Brown Girl Reading made this point the other day. Giving a book a 3 does not mean you didn't like the book. A 3 is a good book. There were just some things that I felt it didn't have to get it to a 4 star for me. Okay. Bookmarks or dog ears? I prefer Bookmarks. A book you can always reread. Their Eyes Were Watching God, and The Upper Room by Mary Monroe, because I like foolishness in a book, and that book has plenty of foolishness in it. Can you read while hearing music? Yes. I can read with any type of background noise. It doesn't bother me. I actually prefer to read with background noise as my ambiance, whether it's the TV, music, a baby screaming, it doesn't matter. I can read through almost anything. One point of view or multiple points of view. In a thriller, I like one point of view. In everything else, it doesn't really matter, but I think let's draw the line at 4. If I had to tell an author anything, draw the line at 4. I don't want to read 6 different points of view in a book. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Ciao. I never read a book in one sitting unless it's one of Jackson's children's books. I used to be able to read a good book in like 3 days. I can't even do that anymore. It takes me sometimes a week or 2 to finish a book. I can't read like I used to. I think maybe it's just distractions. There are opportunities to do so many other things. I don't know what it is, but God bless all of y'all that could sit and read a book in one sitting. I haven't done that probably. Have I ever done it? If I'd done it, probably the last time was in the late 90s or early 2000s, but child, not today. And those are all the questions where at the end it says, who do you tag? Well, right now I want to tag any booktuber that wants to do this. I may think of some folks by the time I post this video and mention them in the description box. So that's my 20 questions tag. Thank you, Kazen, for thinking of me and tagging me. I want to say one other thing about tags. So because I just reached over 1,000 subscribers, I can now see the mentions. Before I didn't get notifications if someone mentioned me in the description box. I get them now. So If anyone has tagged me in anything before and I didn't see the video and I never responded, that's why. Either that or I'm just really late in getting to it. So just wanted to throw that out there for my fellow booktubers. But anyway, I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. And until next time, keep reading. Bye-bye.